What you choose to repair today determines what you will harvest tomorrow. Welcome in. Today's message, my butterflies, is reminding us that healing is an investment. We begin this reading with the repair card energy. The repair card is here encouraging us to acknowledge what needs our attention. However, this is showing up for you, my butterflies, whether a relationship needs your attention, whether it's your mindset, your habits, boundaries, or restoring that relationship with yourself. Healing often begins with the willingness to repair instead of ignoring. Instead of ignoring what you already know needs work. And we have this energy clarified by harvest. With the harvest energy, Spirit is reminding us that every action produces a result. So the energy that we're working with, that we're manifesting, that we're investing in today, that becomes the reality we experience tomorrow. So if we've been intentionally planting seeds of healing, if we've been planting seeds of forgiveness, seeds of discipline or self-love, even trust, there's our harvest that is on its way. That energy is coming back to us. And it's imperative for us to understand that what we avoid today, this becomes what we have to confront later. So that's the reason why it's no use in denying the inevitable. So this repair card is here, and it's talking about correction, restoring things back to their original state. This is all about putting in the effort to fix or repair something. And this has a lot to do with what you've been investing in, what you've been looking to harvest. This is all about reaping the results, gathering those rewards, collecting what's sown, whether that's emotions, whether that's efforts, and there can even be consequences, my butterflies. So every repair habit that becomes, tomorrow's harvest. Even though we may be experiencing delays, that's not a denial. Sometimes there's just preparation. Sometimes there's giving time and room for your harvest to grow. So we've got to know that healing isn't always linear. So my butterflies, it's okay if your path have a few twists and turns. This is your journey, yours alone. It doesn't have to look like or match anybody else's journey. And the card that we have underneath, the overall truth underneath the bottom of the deck, we have the labyrinth. This labyrinth energy, it says situations that are often difficult to understand or solve, complex, and where finding a way out is challenging. So this labyrinth energy is acknowledging that process. It's acknowledging that process may be feeling confusing. We don't always know which direction to take or why certain things are happening. But just because the path isn't a straightforward one, that doesn't mean that we're lost. Because sometimes, my collective, healing feels like walking through a maze. Every turn teaches us something. Even when those twists and those turns don't immediately lead to an exit. So remember that confusion doesn't mean that we're failing. It often means that we're growing beyond what we've known. So we walk through a labyrinth, a maze, and we get to a point where that's a dead end and stop. We have learned that that's not the direction. We can learn to turn around and go back the other direction. And when we get back to where we started, we know what directions not to take because we've already been that route. It's like a process of elimination is basically what I'm trying to explain. Our future is being built by those choices that we are making today. So we have to be patient with ourselves while we find that way. Give ourselves a little grace because every lesson it carries, a future seed of wisdom. something that we can take along with us, something that we can always use. Because our harvest, when we look back on it, what it's going to do, it's going to reflect the care that we've given to our seeds. So that's when it's imperative that we do the repair work at this point in time because growth is coming. And when we want to look back, when we look back at this season, we want to look back at this season knowing that the work that we put in produced something good. We don't want to be in the next season and feeling like there's still work to be done. We want to put in that work this season so it can manifest and harvest into our upcoming season. So don't become discouraged just because our healing isn't happening, in a straight line. The work that we're doing behind the scenes, my butterflies, it will eventually become visible. So repair what's within our control and trust the rest to unfold for us in divine timing. Every choice that we make that's intentional, that is us planting our seeds for our future. So we don't have to have the entire map. We don't have to know, everything step by step. With just enough faith to take the next step, we're adequately stepping into this transformational energy of doing that repair work. My collective, I want to leave us all with an affirmation, something that we can use to stay anchored to this energy. If you all have appreciated these messages, please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate the support. Remember, these messages won't always resonate. So if it did, my butterflies, just leave it here. Maybe one day, these energies will be able to help you navigate through a situation if you ever find yourself here. And this affirmation is going to be, I'm planting seeds of healing, peace, and purpose. Because my collective, when we look back on this season, this repair season, when we're in our harvest season, we're going to want to look back and see that we have healed, that we are operating from a place of peace, and that we are walking in our purpose. Until next time, my collective, you always remember that my healing is your healing and your healing is mine. So let's transform together. Welcome to your metamorphosis, butterflies.